this tool can write all of your posts. So
Mhm.
eventually, if it's all bots on there interacting, who's looking at the ads?
Welcome to the Evolvepreneur AI Advantage Show, and I'm your host, Richard Wray. My mission is to help entrepreneurs understand AI and use it to their advantage. Join me today where we dig deep with our guests and get you the best concepts and strategies. Today's special guest is Kirsten Graham. Kirsten's journey reflects her steadfast dedication to empowering entrepreneurs. Her partnership with Gene Wilson led to the establishment of Six Figures Business Coaching LLC, uniting Kirsten's expertise in business operations with Gene's marketing skills. Today, we're talking about a journey with AI, transforming marketing from the ground up. Kirsten, welcome to the show.
Hey, Richard, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here today.
Hey, it's really great to have you here, but as I ask all my guests, where in the world are you?
So I am in sunny Sarasota, Florida, and opposite of you, we're just heading into summer. I think you're heading into winter.
That is right. Yes, it's still very hot here and humid, and I think that's the direction that you're heading right now. Yeah,
Mhm. Absolutely.
It's a little bit humid to say the least. But anyway, enough of the weather. Let's talk about you. Tell me about yourself and a little bit of your history, because, like a lot of my guests, you've got this amazing history which I didn't even scratch the surface of.
It's always a windy road with entrepreneurs, isn't it?
Oh, very much so.
So I started my career in real estate in the late 80s. I eventually ended up moving to the mortgage side. I owned a mortgage
Hmm.
company and a title company, and I did a lot of loans for self-employed people. And so I would see their business tax returns and their personal tax returns. And inevitably, they would then say, "Hey, can I take you to lunch and pick your brain?" So that led into about a decade of mentorship. And I loved doing that. And that eventually turned into a coaching business, which I still have coaching clients, one-on-one clients. But that journey then led me a little bit further down a rabbit hole where I realized that most business owners, their biggest challenge is lead generation. And if it's a soulpreneur, really getting out there and building their brand. And that's when I partnered with Jeannie Wilson, my business partner. And so we really focus on helping our clients with their marketing. And we do that by pairing them with trained virtual assistants in the Philippines who are trained to use AI tools. That's kind of exciting.
That's very interesting. So you're teaching virtual assistants to use virtual technology.
Absolutely. I always love the question, do you feel like AI will replace, virtual assistants? And I think AI is a tool, like any other tool. It has to kind of be used by a human. And I would rather have someone on my team doing a lot of the back end task than me spend my time doing it. So I think that AI is making our team more efficient. And I think that's the way we try to look at it is always empowering them with the newest technology, always looking into what's coming out and how we can integrate it with our team.
So it sounds like you're well on the path to, using AI in amazing ways. In fact, you're already there by the sounds of it. But what's that first moment when you saw AI and you went, okay, this is something I could use to enhance my business?
Oh my gosh. So Jarvis was probably the first tool that we used. And back then I think it was called Jasper. And I think that was
Hmm.
like 4 years ago. And
So
so
well before ChatGPT and everybody else was jumping on the bandwagon, yeah?
absolutely, and let me tell you, it was just so funny. I remember I was dog sitting for a girlfriend, and I had another friend over, and so we're sitting out on the lanai at the table, and I was like, "Let me show you this new thing I found." And so I get her up and running, and she's like, "Oh, we've got to tell so and so about it." So we call another friend, and we get her all logged in, and then it's a Friday night, and so the next, like, 3 or 4 hours, we're all writing copy and just sharing what we've written with AI and laughing our butts off, and we started joking that, Jasper was our boyfriend, and we were kind of fighting over him. So, yeah, AI definitely has been a big part of our journey for the past few years, and it's ever evolving.
Sounds like a party.
It was.
So you had that moment, and then I think a lot of people were taken by surprise when along comes ChatGPT and that whole zeitgeist moment, November 2022, if I remember correctly. Uh, and everybody started to run with it. It sounds like you're working with lots of people. You've got your people over in the Philippines, your VAs, etc. How much pushback or how much fear have you had from your clients about AI?
I feel like we tend to work with a lot of open-minded people,
Hmm.
and we also work with, a lot of people that are over 50. So we have clients in their 70s. So people who at that age, I think, who are starting businesses, they're very open-minded. And we do talk about the concerns that people have, but I don't think the majority of our clients fear AI. I think they want to figure out how to use it ethically and how it can enhance their business. Um, but a lot of them don't want AI writing for them, right? And they want to bring their stories and their voice to their content. And that's one of the reasons why we focus a lot on video content.
Hmm.
AI is great to help outline a script or, to help you with a hook or even titles, but most of our clients want to show up authentically as themselves because they feel like the knowledge that they have or what they do within their business can really help people and impact the world. And they know they can only do that if they show up as themselves. So most of them see AI as a tool and they're not afraid of it.
This is great. You mentioned something earlier on, though, which contradicts a lot of people's cliches that they will have in their mind. Over 50 and being open minded and being willing to accept AI, that's not the cliche that a lot of people think of. Is this something that happens on a regular basis, or is it just that it's your client type that you tend to come across?
Well, again, because we help entrepreneurs, with video marketing and outsourcing. So if someone is at that age, and of course we're over 50, but if someone's at that age and they're starting a business, I think they are more open-minded. So I'm not talking
Hmm.
about, someone's 75-year-old grandmother who's at home and enjoying her life and her grandkids and that's her life. I mean, that's beautiful, but it's not our clients. Our clients are excited because they're starting a business, they're in a new chapter of their lives. So I think that's a big difference is who they are and where they are in their journey more so than their age.
That makes complete sense. Tell me about then the services that you offer with the video marketing and how you use AI in that area.
Sure. So we help our clients understand how to use video marketing. So whether that is starting a YouTube channel and
Hmm.
having talking head style videos, or whether it's starting a podcast, and we always recommend that their podcasts are on YouTube and then obviously stripping audio. So we help our clients really with their content, their strategy, and then we teach them how to use AI again to help them with scripting or outlining their videos, helping them with keyword research and SEO for titles. So that's one of the ways we work with our clients on that side. We then pair our clients with a virtual assistant in the Philippines that we've interviewed, vetted, and trained on how to do video production, podcast production, email marketing, social media marketing. The virtual assistants are using tools, like chat or what used to be called Bard, which I think is now Genesis. So, or
Gemini.
copy Gemini, or Copy AI, or any of those tools. We have a lot of
Hmm.
them that we offer them, but we help the virtual assistants learn to use the AI to take like the transcript of the video and then convert that into a properly written blog post, or to help them write captions from the video content. And we also use AI in like Descript. Descript is a great tool that has AI built in for like cleaning up audio. So we're trying to
Hmm.
keep them up to date on any AI tools that can help them be more proficient with their jobs.
So it sounds like not only are you taking away some of the more challenging aspects of content creation, which I can speak to all day long quite happily doing this job, but you're also trying to raise the quality quite significantly because you've mentioned you're using Descript and the quality of the audio, but also you're improving areas like the overall script.
Mhm. Yeah, I think for most of us, I just remember when I was doing a lot more talking head videos. Now we actually
Mhm.
have 2 podcasts, which I think are easier because you're having great conversations with wonderful people. But when you're kind of doing a talking head video and it's just you, you're trying to figure out like what's that hook going to look like? What are the points I
Mhm.
want to get across? What stories do I need to share? And I feel like AI is just a great tool to get you started and then to actually clean up and maybe enhance what you're doing. So I think that's a lot easier way to start writing a script for a video or an outline for a video. My business partner, Jeannie, she is definitely a scripted video person. She likes a
Mhm.
script, and I'm more of an outline. I just need the bullet points and then I'm going to run with it. So we teach our clients to use whatever strategy works for them, but then how they can use AI just to help get them going. They're not looking at that blank screen. And so I think it's helpful in that way.
So you've called out something which I found with a lot of people I've talked to. Everybody's got so much inside them, but it's just going over that first line, getting past that
Mhm.
blank screen. And once that happens, you're in great shape. And it sounds like that's one of the main uses of AI.
It is for us, but I also love the fact that when you have an awesome transcript from a video that you've done, we don't write the way we speak. And
Mhm.
so I love the fact that AI can take that video transcript and you can say, hey, turn this into a proper blog post with headers and subheaders. And AI can do that, but it's still going to sound like you because it was your content in the first place.
So getting that true, authentic tone in your writing and also anything that you're saying on screen. It's one thing when you're talking to camera, but the written word is more challenging to get yourself across there. And it does sound like you use AI to do that in a very creative way.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you use AI because sometimes I think you can make us lazy.
Hmm.
So one of the things I like to focus on is always sharing stories, like always talking about a story or, a way that you help and impact people that's unique to you or sharing information about yourself to make content personal to you. And then also
Hmm.
with AI, you can use multiple tools. I think people don't realize that you can use maybe chat to get you started and then you run it through copy AI. So there's lots of different ways that you can use it to keep molding that piece of content until it really works for you, until it sounds like you. Another thing is you can always run it through an AI tool to ask it, was this written by AI to find out what that score looks like? Because there's all kinds of tools that'll tell you was this particular piece of content written by AI.
You mentioned tools that can tell if something's written by AI, but do you think the public, when they're listening to people or watching people, have that kind of spider sense, that sixth sense that something has been done with AI as opposed to people being authentic?
I don't think the general public does yet, but I think
Hmm.
eventually they will because I think more and more people are mainstream people are coming across chat. So whether they're using it to help them write emails at work or,
Hmm.
colleges are right now are already scanning applications for AI. So,
They're very
you know,
worried, aren't they?
right, they're very worried and they are checking for it. And so I think it's something that if we're not careful, everything will sound the same. So I think it's really important to understand how to create great prompts, how to ask questions in different ways, how to get the AI to dig deeper than a surface level answer if you are going to use AI to really help you write something. But again, in video, which I think is so powerful, people get to know you. When I have people call me like they found us on YouTube, they're quoting things that I've said. They're quoting things that Jeannie said. They may ask about my
Mhm.
little dog who sometimes shows up in videos. So they get to know you and your mannerisms and how you speak. And so when they get on a Zoom call with you, it's you and they already feel connected with you. And I think that's the power of video.
Can you give me an example of one of your clients where your approach, especially with the approach on AI, has been truly transformational?
Yeah, so we have a client who's a dietitian and she had always wanted to write a book. And like so many people, she has a local business, so she has a lot of local clients and she's very successful, but she had always wanted to write a book and she wanted to have an online course or program. So she went through our program, she started creating video content where she learned more about AI and starting to use that. And I think also, I do want to point this out, Richard, that for us and for a lot of our clients, it's not just about AI. A lot of
Mhm.
our clients are solopreneurs. So when they bring that virtual assistant on, it's the first time they've truly had support in their business. It's the first time they've had someone to collaborate with or to bounce ideas off, or the first person who they felt like was really on their team to help them build this business. And as you know, being an entrepreneur it can be lonely sometimes. So
Extremely.
yeah, so by having a virtual assistant, having that support, and then learning to use these tools along with her virtual assistant, she went on to write her book and she did use AI to help her get started and help her with different chapters. Obviously, she wrote the book herself and has so much valuable content in it. Then she went on to start a podcast. So her virtual assistant uses to script, like to clean up audio and to help her with those things. So yeah, I think it's powerful because it allows you one to not look at that blank screen. You can start off using an AI tool to help get you started. But two, learning more and more about how AI can help you and how a virtual assistant can help you have more time to do things like write the book or create the program that you want. So that was an amazing journey to be on with her.
And it sounds like time is something that AI is a real bonus for. You actually get so much more time back, especially with the approaches that you're using.
Oh, absolutely. Even our team, like again, if we can make our team more efficient, then they can get more done too, right? So it's not just about it being efficient for me, but it's about being efficient for our entire team. And for us, one of the next positions we want to hire for, we just hired an operations manager. But the next position we'd like to fill is to actually have someone come on who is an AI specialist. So someone who just spends time looking into different AI tools and keeping
Hmm.
us up to date with what's coming out and testing different tools for us or giving us overviews of how we could quickly implement using tools. Because
Hmm.
Jeannie and I both love this. I mean, if we could spend all day just researching AI and playing with different tools, we would. But obviously, we have a business to run, so we can't. So I feel like that's important. And I feel like more and more businesses, especially large corporations, are bringing on like prompt specialists. I mean, they're bringing on people to help them stay on top of AI.
AI is not a magic wand. Some people might think it is, but it doesn't suddenly solve all your problems overnight. What are the mistakes that you've seen people making with AI?
Well, before this, I was having a coffee with a lady who was excited about an article she wrote for a magazine, and then she
Mhm.
wanted to say that she wrote it completely with AI. And so I said, "Well, let's run it through a tool and see if it knows that it was written by AI." And it did. It's at 100% written. And so my question to her was, where are you in this article? Don't you like bring some stories to this? Bring something to the table that allows you to share more about who you are. And that was really missing from the article. I think it was well written, but it didn't reflect a person in my opinion, or it didn't reflect her because I know her, if that makes sense. So I think it's easy to take the, I guess, the lazy way out. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are companies out there where they're completely creating AI websites and all of the blog posts are written by AI and they're getting those websites to rank. So that is definitely happening. But I think
Mhm.
for a lot of small businesses where it's, just them, they really have to bring their unique personalities to the table or I feel like they can get overlooked.
That's very interesting because certainly I've seen examples. I think Sports Illustrated was an
Mhm.
example where the story leaked that stories were written using AI, which is kind of scary. And I don't think Sports Illustrated, the magazine, is around anymore.
Oh, I'm not even sure, but yeah, and I'm not sure, like, I know that, I'll joke because sometimes I'll write an email to my team and maybe I've got a lot
Mhm.
of things I wanna go over, so I might pop it into, one of the AI tools and write it, and then I always sign my name like Kirsten and AI, like, this
Yeah.
so just kinda have fun with it, but I do wonder how Google, because and again, Google, Facebook, all of those they're all changing, constantly changing. And I do wonder if Google will eventually punish people for having all AI written content.
Mhm.
Will they eventually, stop? There was someone talking about a software the other day at a networking meeting I was in, and they were talking about, well, this tool can write all of your posts. It can comment back to people's comments. It can engage with people. It can DM people. So it's an AI tool that can do all of those things, which is great. But Facebook is an ads platform. So
Mhm.
eventually, if it's all bots on there interacting, who's looking at the ads? Who's
Yeah, the
spending
bots are
money?
talking to the bots and having arguments, and it's could be
Yeah.
quite bizarre.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a few times tools that people use to see if something has been written with AI. What are the sort of tools that you've come across that are good for this sort of thing?
Oh, she had asked me that earlier, and I drew a complete blank. There are several just Google tools for, tools to detect AI writing, and there's just a
Mhm.
ton of them, and there's a few that are free. I think we've got a couple paid versions of tools, but again, the team uses them more than I do, so I do apologize. I don't have names
That's
off the top of
absolutely
my head.
fine.
But yeah, there's lots of them out there. And so I think it's a good way for us, if we are writing something, to use a couple of those tools to see how we did and then improve it. Because again, it's just a tool. So if you're using AI to help you write something and it comes back that it looks like it was 80% written by AI, maybe you want to go back and work on it a little bit more and try to get more of you in that. So,
That's very interesting. Amazon themselves, when you submit a book now for Kindle, they are asking how much of the book has been written using AI. Is it 100%, a percentage of it, or none at
mhm,
all? So you can see there is a little bit of a pushback against these sorts of things, which I find very powerful. You've talked a lot about video and
mhm,
talking heads and podcasts, and there are lots of examples out there of AI generated video content and talking heads. And I've certainly
mhm,
used AI versions of my voice for certain work. Where do you
mhm.
see this going?
Well, it's funny, we have a client right now who is creating a ton of small micro courses for his
Mhm,
clients, and those were all being done by AI. So he was in front of a green screen, it recorded his mannerisms.
mhm.
It's fairly good. Like, I think it's actually, for what he's doing with it, it's really good. But I do think that, when you think about creating marketing content, okay, so you could actually take enough of my videos and you could use an
Mhm.
AI tool to piece together a video of me saying anything, right?
Yes.
So, but I could sue you for that at some point if I didn't like what it said. So I feel like that's
Absolutely.
where what we have is our unique person. So creating content as yourself, using your voice, your mannerisms, I don't really think anyone can take that away from you. And again, if they do, it's going to be a problem. So yes, I think AI is great for voiceovers. I think it can be great for doing shorts. Like if you want to type out a script for a short video and use an AI tool that has your voice to read it, I think it's brilliant. I mean, that's something that a virtual assistant can do for you all day long. So I don't think there's anything wrong with using video and AI. But again, I think for a long form video or even a podcast interview like this, I mean, could you imagine, and I'm sure it's possible, but could you imagine if we were both just AI images instead of
That
ourselves? How would that turn out?
that would just be both terrifying, but also quite interesting to try out, for the at the very least. So, yes, I'd love to actually experiment with that at some point. But, yes, no, I
Yeah.
completely agree with you,
Mhm.
definitely. So where do you see this going? Because it sounds like you're really grabbing hold of what can be done with the AI. By your own definition, you're not a super technical person. You've used it as a
Mhm.
tool, which I think is a smart thing. You've got smart people out there doing smart things for you as well. The people who are using AI. Where do you see this heading? Because you're somebody who's on a journey, as we
Mhm.
said.
So, I have never in my life wanted to be younger until AI came out. I was like, "Oh my god, I'd like to be 20, like, right now," because I think it's just gonna go to some amazing places. If you think about it, it can calculate information, so maybe we could have a cure for cancer. I
Hmm.
think there's just
Hmm.
so many amazing things that could be done with it. As far as business goes, again, it's gonna bring in more automation for us. It's gonna be able to make us more efficient with time. But again, it's evolving so quickly. I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, they have some anxiety around trying to keep up. So I think
Hmm.
that's one really important thing I would tell everyone is don't let your anxiety about trying to keep up overwhelm you. Just learn what you can learn. The other thing we're doing right now is we used to always buy like a year subscription to things because it was cheaper and we figured we were going to keep a tool for a year. Now we just pay monthly subscriptions because things are evolving so quickly. So there might be a tool we'll use for a couple of months and something that'll come out might be exponentially better. So we might want to try that tool. So I don't have any idea because I don't think I have that programming kind of brain to figure out where it can
Hmm.
take
Hmm.
us, but I am excited about it.
So it sounds like you do like the flexibility as well. As you say, you've gone to paying monthly for different services. Oh, I'll try
Mhm,
this now. I'll try this. So
mhm.
constant experimentation and not being afraid to do that.
I think so, yeah. Like I said, I'd love for us to eventually hire someone on our team who just basically does that for us, and then we can meet with them a couple times a week and review what they're doing and get kinda cliff
Hmm.
notes of things so that we could try things faster. But yeah, I think as a business owner, you definitely don't wanna be overwhelmed, but at the same time, I think it's important to keep learning what's coming out and how to use it. I know here we have some lawsuits happening, especially with the FCC right now, for companies, that are over exaggerating what AI can do, especially in the financial industry. So I think there's gonna be more of that as well, making sure that companies are not over exaggerating what the tool can do.
Yeah, there's certainly a bit of snake oil flowing at the
Mhm,
moment for sure.
mhm.
Is there anything that AI isn't doing at the moment that you'd like to see it be able to do?
Cook my dinner, clean the house. Yeah, absolutely. I want a little robot that cleans and cooks for me.
We're talking about the Jetsons now, of course.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think that it's getting so much better at, like, even video editing, cleaning up all of the
Mm.
ums and the ohs and the things like that, that it's doing a great job of transcribing, it's doing a great job of rewriting things that we've, written or helping us write. I just Yeah, I'm just excited to keep learning new uses for it.
Fantastic. And if there was one piece of advice that people should take away from our conversation today, what would it be?
As a business owner, I think you have to be open-minded and emphatically AI there will be a lot of bad things done with AI, just like there's bad things done with the
Mhm.
internet, just like there's bad things done, because of people. It's not about the tool, it's about the people. And so I would say don't be afraid of it because of what it could do. I think the more good people that use it and the more good people that are lobbying for safety measures, I think is going to make a big difference. So as a business owner, I would say embrace it.
Kirsten, that's fantastic advice. And I've got to say, this conversation today, I think I found one of the best examples of people using AI in a smart way. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Richard. This has been so fun. I really enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you for having me on.
It's great, but I've got to ask you the question as well. Where can people find you, and what exciting projects do you have on the horizon that they should know about?
Sure. They can find us at sixfigurebusinesscoaching.com. We can also find us on YouTube at Six Figure Business Coaching. Yeah. So I guess our biggest project right now is we have our original program that helps our clients create a podcast or video, pairing them with a virtual assistant to do all of their marketing. We now have a new program coming out that helps our clients consistently get booked on podcast with a virtual assistant. So we're launching that in May. Very excited about that. And so I feel like having a virtual assistant to help you consistently get podcast interviews is powerful,
Very.
and it helps you get in front of other people's audiences and share your message.
That sounds incredibly exciting. Kirsten, I wish you and the rest of your team the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Richard. We appreciate you.
Well, that's a wrap on another awesome guest episode for the Evolvepreneur AI Advantage show. Just before you go, if you like this episode, we would be very grateful for a 5-star review. Please also consider recommending the show to a friend or two. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at aiadvantage.show right now. Until next time, I'm Richard Wray, and if you're an entrepreneur, get the AI advantage today.